Okay.
Straight up 7 p.m. in Marengo, Illinois, and we are on the air.
Yes, we are.
Today is April 2nd, 2026.
Do you like the symphony?
I do. Yes, I do. This was the opening to when I did the Thursday night show. This was
I
always
remember.
This was always our
Well,
opening
I
song.
have an orchestra daughter, so.
Yeah, this group, this is out of Milwaukee. This is the Milwaukee Symphony. These guys do this pretty well. Io Silver! Good evening and welcome to another live broadcast of Sports and Stuff.
Sports and Stuff Marengo. Glad to be back. We took a couple weeks off there. NCAA stuff going on and new equipment. We got a new computer, so hopefully everything's working. It's got to work.
Hopefully people can hear us, yeah.
Did you see this computer?
I was looking at it. It's pretty cool.
This is the computer down here.
Oh.
It's a box like this big.
It's about a quarter of the size of a shoebox.
Sorry, I got the weather going in the background because we do have a tornado watch out here. Luckily, the studio's in the basement.
My wife, before I left, was asking. I said, not to worry. We're in the basement.
We're in the basement.
If it comes through, we'll continue to broadcast.
We're by the windows. But if we're Midwesterners, so what do we do anyway when the weather's bad? If they say there's a tornado, what do we do?
We usually run outside.
We go outside and look.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it works.
Yes, that's us. Yes.
I'm a weather geek. I took a weather class, an online or National Weather Service class this week, and the person teaching the class, the meteorologist from the National Weather Service, said, "We're in the Midwest. We go outside."
They
said don't do that, but that's what they said.
It's a phenomenon, and it's not a joke. I mean, and anybody that's hearing us now or listens to this going forward is going to say, "Oh yeah, I've done that.
I've done that. Yeah, that's what we." And then I even look at my neighbors, and we're all looking up in the sky.
They're watching, and the sirens going off, and
everything.
Sounds like a train. Maybe we better get
inside. So anyway, here we are, Sports and Stuff Marengo. You're listening to us on YouTube. We're looking to expand. I'm going to learn how to do it on Facebook too. And we're recording this so you can go back. We got the new logo. Listen, if you ever want to get a hold of us or leave us information, tell us you like the show or don't like the show, or you can leave comments on the YouTube channel, or you can email us at Sports and Stuff Marengo. Just the way it sounds. Sports. It's not and, it's sports, the letter N, stuff, Marengo at gmail.com.
Cool.
Or go to our Facebook page and say you like it or don't like it or whatever. Anyway, since it's sports and stuff, should we start with the sports?
Well, sure.
You want to do your call? You want to get?
Well, we got a few minutes because for those of you who listened regularly to our Thursday night show on the old WXMR, you'll remember that we had a number of characters that we would bring on, and one of them was the infamous Florida Man. Who I've contacted and will be joining us in the next 10 minutes or so. So just stick around. Don't go anywhere because we have Florida Man coming up. One thing I wanted to point out, Tim, is tonight Illinois State University
They're in
has
the
made
NIT, right?
the Final Four of the National Invitational Tournament.
And what is the NIT?
That's the National Invitational
I know,
Tournament.
but what?
It used to be the NCAA tournament. It used to be the tournament that you wanted to get into, and then the NCAA was a secondary. And for some reason, at some point in time, and this goes back quite a number of years, the two kind of shifted. So the NCAA tournament is the big tournament, and the NIT is kind of the secondary. So
Like I didn't get into the big games, so
so you might get a shot.
but they're still pretty good teams, right?
Yeah, so it's teams that instead of having a record of 32-5, they might have a record of 20-15. And
Gotcha.
Those are the type of teams to get in. But Illinois State has made the Final Four, and they were playing tonight. I believe they tip off at around 9 o'clock. So
Okay, so
Yeah.
go
cool.
Illini. And the other Final Four. We're in the
Redbirds.
Final Four.
Yes, they're the Illini. And I know there's a lot of talk about it. I think they can get past UConn.
They're the favorites if you're a betting man and just going on the odds, which mean nothing. But I mean, the nation is picking Illinois to win.
Hopefully overall, because if they get through that round on Saturday, that Monday game, regardless of who they face, it'll either be Arizona or Michigan, is going to be a real challenge. That'll be a tough one.
Well, if you make the Final Four, you're good.
Yeah, you're a regional champ. Absolutely.
You're one of the top teams because you had to make a lot of.
Now, last year, Tim, I think all number one seeds made it to the final. This year, 2 number one seeds and a 2 and a 3 are in the Final Four. So they're right. You know,
They get it.
Yeah,
They get it.
It's where it's supposed to be.
So
It's been a good tournament too. If you've watched it, it's really
and
been
there
exciting.
really wasn't a lot of crazy upsets.
Not really. You know, there wasn't that one Cinderella team.
Yeah,
that came out of
that's
nowhere
what I
this
mean.
year. I guess,
But this means a lot besides winning. It's a recruiting.
oh, absolutely. This is huge for the Illinois basketball program.
Yeah. Well, not only the whole college. I mean, everyone will want to, but I mean, they're a big school anyway. But it'll get them on the map or back on the map to people. Oh, I want to go there.
Absolutely, and probably the most interesting story out of the tournament is the young man who's the guard for Illinois, the freshman, who was named like best player coming out of that regional, and he leads the team in scoring. And he was a walk-on. He was basically unrecruited, and he walked on.
Are they going to lose their coach?
Whether no, no.
I mean, because that's the other thing that happens with this. Is that
right now, Tim, the only big job that's open is North Carolina. That's the only job I know of that's open. And there has been some rumor going around that the Bulls coach Billy Donovan might be interested. So we'll see. But otherwise, I can't see him leaving Illinois to go to North Carolina.
Yeah, okay.
I can't see it. So
money drives a lot of that too.
Well, and to your point, my friend, I heard today that this kid, and I can't think of his name, the guard from Illinois who has really done so well, has signed another agreement for at least one more year because of the NIL money is right, which is really, it's kind of disappointing that that's what it's come down to.
Well, we will do a whole show someday on this. The fact that money's ruining college sports
without
and how long until it gets to high school.
That's now right now. Obviously, high school kids aren't making any money off of their appearances.
I don't know that they ever. I don't know they ever will, but I could see it's probably happening in some states. I could see where it comes down to wear our shoes.
Yes,
wear
good
our
point. Yep.
jerseys.
Yep, and you'll get a little check.
You'll get a little something. And what school board isn't going to say, okay, they're going to supply us to wear Puma gym shoes and they're going to write us a check.
And really, I mean, of course.
And that's how it all starts.
IHSA right now, those regulations, you absolutely can't do that. But I can see in the future, Nike coming to some school and say, if you guys will supply everybody here free shoes if you wear our shoes. I can see that kind of stuff happening. And I would imagine to some extent, I don't know this for sure, that some of the private schools where they can recruit might offer some sweetheart deals to parents. If you allow your kid to come here or you move into our district, we'll find a job for you.
That's probably happening right now.
Oh, without a doubt. I without a doubt.
Yeah, this will just make it if they ever do that. But I see that coming, and I don't think it's good for.
No, it's not. It's not good for.
It's not good for.
I guess the only thing that it would possibly be good for, especially with basketball in the NCAA, is so many one and dones, where the kids are they're in the freshman year. They're really good, like the Boozer brothers from Duke. They're going to the NBA. And so it's like they're in 1 year and they're gone. So I keep thinking, if you had the Boozer boys with Cooper Flagg, who was the #1 draft pick last year in the NBA, Duke would be a machine. They would be winning championships now for the next 2 or 3 years. But it's not
Time
the way
will tell.
Yeah.
And it's all driven by money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So,
all right. So, Coach, tell me where Illinois is going to end up.
I think they'll end up in the final game. Right now, Arizona's pretty good, but my guess would be Illinois, Michigan as a Big Ten final.
Okay, Big Ten final.
Yeah, that's my guess.
UConn left it on the floor, you think?
Yeah, I think Illinois is a better team.
Duke was a better team.
Duke was a better team.
Was a better team.
Up
until the last. What did they do?
They were up 19 points. And they didn't lose it in one big run. It just inched away over the second half. And then all of a sudden they look up and they're only up by 3 points, and you're thinking,
you and I talked about this the other day. They did who knows what they did.
Well, 10 seconds left in the game. They're up by 2 points. They're inbounding the ball underneath the opponent's basket. And I was watching with Brian, and I turned to him and I said, they got 10 seconds. All they have to do is not turn the ball over.
Right.
They're going to get fouled. They'll go to the free throw line. The guy hits at least one, and the best they can do is tie. Yeah. He hits two, and the game's over. And they turn the ball over at half court, Tim. Yeah.
Like on a goofy looking play, too.
Oh, it was just bad.
Yeah.
It was just bad.
Well, okay. All right. Do you want to, should we give Florida Man a call?
Sure. Let's see
if we can do that. So let's see. I got to unplug this. And then you got to plug this into the bottom of your phone. Meanwhile, we have the monitor on here and no tornadoes yet, but
you ready?
Lots of green.
Okay, hold on.
Sorry, that's the longest the cord will go there, Bill. Bear with us, listeners.
Yeah, we'll get there.
No.
Here, let me.
It won't. It's too big. Tell him we'll call him back on my phone.
Florida Man, we're going to have to call you back on a different phone, so stand by, okay?
All right.
So we're going to continue. So Florida Man will be joining us here just momentarily. He was pretty excited about the opportunity.
He hasn't been on for a while.
He hasn't been on for a while, so hopefully he'll have some great stories for us, and maybe we can even talk him into a revisit to the old game, Clothed or Naked. We'll.
Oh, I hear it. I hear it ringing.
It's ringing. Florida Man.
Hi.
Hey, Florida Man. We can hear you. You're not real loud, but we've got some new technology here, and we'll see if we can adjust you so we can be heard.
Yeah.
But hey, it's good to talk to you. Are you sober tonight?
Well, what's today?
It's Thursday. Actually, it's the day before Good Friday, so hopefully you're minding your P's and Q's.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the day ends in Y, so no, I am not sober.
Well, first off, he's in Florida, so
he is. Yeah. Well, catch us up here, my friend, on what's going on. Is the still in the backyard?
Still in the backyard, still going strong. I mean, gas is over $4 a gallon, so I got to kind of, sales have gone down a little bit. I'll put it that way.
Oh boy, that's a bummer. What about the monks? Do you still see them? Do they still hang around once in a while?
Every once in a while, I'll catch one coming by, and he'll set up a tent in the backyard. Nobody, we just kind of leave him alone. He prays to the statue of Buddha that I can't get rid of, and then he goes about his way.
Well, you're a good man. Does he sample some of the medicine while he's there?
Every once in a while, I'll slip some into his tea just to see what happens.
That's got to be entertaining.
Well, there really isn't anything else to do.
Is it hot down in Florida yet? You guys are a little bit.
Well, yeah, during the day it'll get up to be about 85 or 90. I mean, I really don't know. I ain't not up that early, but yeah, at night it'll drop down to in the 60s, 50s.
Now, your old neighbors, and forgive me, Jimbo and Ginger. For a minute, I forgot the names. Jimbo and Ginger. Do you ever hear from them at all? Do you know what's going on in their lives?
Well, yeah. They moved down toward Orlando to be close to Disney World, and they spent about a year. It's been about a year, and they're ready to come back.
Oh, really? Any chance that they'll be able to find some place to live close to you?
Well, I'm sure, but we got a lot of New Yorkers coming down here these days.
Oh, is that bad?
They call those snowbirds, don't they?
Well, I don't think they're snowbirds, considering it's March and they're still coming down here.
I wonder, not to get political here this evening, but I wonder if it has anything to do with the gentleman who is currently the mayor of New York City.
I got a feeling it's got a lot to do with that
guy. Yeah, possibly.
Okay. Well, you know what? Moving along here, Florida man, I guess let's get started. Are there any stories at all for us tonight? And
all right, I got one, and we are going to play the game.
Okay, that was my next question.
That's what we've been waiting for.
Okay, so let's start with the story.
All right, so I got a buddy who works at one of the prisons around here, and he calls me up and he goes, "Florida man, this is one of the weirdest things that's ever happened to me. I got to tell you about it." So I go, "Okay." So we're sitting by the fire, and there's a burn ban down here, so I mean, we still lit a fire because why not?
Okay.
And he's telling me, he's like, "I got a work crew, and I'm out there and I'm mowing this community center that's got like a baseball field right next to it, like a little league field." Well, they got some, public bathrooms in there that have not been very well taken care of over the years. And it's pretty much a condemned building. Well, he goes, one of my trustees, one of my inmates had to go to the bathroom. So I said, "Well, just go in there." And he goes, "Well, the door's not opening. There's no lock on the door, but it won't open." So the inmate kicks the door, and all he hears from the inside is somebody scream in pain. Apparently, there was a homeless person in there.
Well, you gotta sleep somewhere.
And this inmate kicked the door and hit the guy right in the head.
Oh, guy gonna be okay?
Well, I don't know. He got up, and of course, my buddy walks over to the homeless guy and says, "Hey, bud, you got to go." And the homeless guy looked at him and said, "Well, I don't know where to go." The officer, he just looked at him and said, "Well, this road runs both ways. Pick a direction."
I got to remember that line.
That's a great line.
That's a great line.
That is a great line.
Great line.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, what a life.
Yeah, it's still Florida, though.
It is, and that fits into the whole thing where... I
asked him, I said, "Well, what do you do in that situation? What if they don't leave?" He goes, "Then I got to call the county sheriff and have them come out there and deal with them." I go, "That should take 3 hours."
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, I know. There goes my day."
the line about, "Well, there's the road. It goes both ways.
Both ways.
Pick a direction."
Yeah.
That is classic, and it is so typical Florida. So, should we play the game?
Let's play. We're ready.
Yes, sir. We're ready. So how do we used to do this? Introduce us. Okay. Kiddies, it's time to gather around the radio because we're about to begin playing Clothed or Naked, where Florida Man will present us with a story, and we have to guess whether the people involved or the perpetrators were clothed or unclothed. So, okay, we're ready, buddy.
All right. A man got arrested for robbing a Dollar General, but it was his second time robbing the exact same Dollar General, and he had gotten arrested for robbing the Dollar General before.
I'm going to say clothed.
I'm going clothed on this one.
He was closed.
Okay,
Okay.
well, we're one
But the
for
funny
one.
part is that after the first time he got arrested from there, he went back in there, bought a ski mask, went out the store, put the ski mask on, and then went and robbed it again.
That is Florida.
Yeah,
That is
you
Florida.
got that one. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
yes.
Wow. Sometimes you got to wonder, brains, and it's almost like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to arrest you because you broke the law. I'm going to arrest you just because you're stupid.
Because you're stupid.
And we don't want you to procreate, so we're going to get you off the street. Okay, what's next there, partner?
All right. Driving his truck into the ocean. He got arrested for driving his vehicle into the ocean.
I'm going naked.
I'm going naked on this one, too.
He was naked. And the excuse he gave was, "It is not my fault. My car is too heavy to float."
He's sort of right there, isn't he?
He's a very observant person.
Yeah.
And first of all, I assume that, like, the last guy we talked about, this guy's males, right?
Does he live in an outhouse too? Or?
My truck is too heavy to float. Wow. What did he expect? He was going to drive it on the water? Okay, anyway, no.
Well,
no,
I mean,
it's Florida.
It is Florida.
It's Florida.
Yeah.
Florida. Okay, give us another one there. Boy, we're on a roll.
Arrested for climbing a cell tower.
Ooh, this is a tough one.
I'll let you go.
I'm going to go naked on this one.
I'm going clothed.
He was naked.
I'm thinking, some guy climbs a cell tower. It's like, okay, get down. But I'll bet you they chased him.
Don't they got like hooks and barbed wire
Well,
and
Tim,
stuff like
exactly.
that?
Well, but if he gets up there and he's drawing a crowd, hey, look at me. Here I am.
Here I
Top
am.
of the cell tower without any clothes on. Wow.
Where did if you're naked, you got nowhere to put your spray paint to tag the side of the tower.
Do you remember that?
I do believe he was on some sort of illegal narcotic.
Oh,
You would have to think either adult beverages were involved in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would hope. Yeah, you would absolutely hope. So go ahead. You got more?
I got one more.
Okay.
Man gets arrested for breaking into a Burger King and drinking gallons of the fry oil.
Oh, yow. I'm going naked on this one. If he's screwy enough to drink, I'm going naked.
I'm going clothed.
He was clothed for the most part, but I mean, if you saw the picture of this guy, you'd be like, yeah, I could see him doing that.
So he drank, obviously it wasn't hot, but he drank the fryer oil, gallons?
Yes, it says gallons. It didn't give a specific amount, but it said gallons.
I'm guessing that's not good for your cholesterol. And all. I'm sure.
Well, he looks like he's a walking heart attack. So,
but I'm wondering, and I don't know how to put this.
Would that loosen
gently.
you up?
Exactly. If that cleaned out the colon, that was my.
Yeah. Is that like the night before the test?
There you go. Yeah, well, that was his excuse. I'm having a colonoscopy in the morning. What am I going to do?
Yeah, it cleans me out. Well,
wow.
You said it's Florida.
It is Florida. I assume that the little Floridians are doing well and Mrs. Florida Man is okay?
Yeah, Florida woman and the Florida kids are they're doing all right.
That's always great to hear. Well, our intention here, Florida Man, is as we're going to build on this. We're going to be doing this every Thursday night between the hours of 7 and 8 Central Time. And we would certainly like you to be a permanent part of it if you would agree to that.
Well, that would be great, except next Thursday I'm not going to be able to do it. My motorcycle club is having a rally over in Gainesville. We're actually going from Gainesville to Daytona to ride the Daytona 500 on the motorcycles and then driving back. So I'm probably not going to be able to do it Thursday.
Okay.
All right, we'll put you on hold, but we'll make you a part of the team like you were.
Certainly will. We're gonna get used to discussing this, playing some music, and get some more interviews in and things like that. But hey, thanks a lot for joining us tonight. This was, as always, enjoyable. It's good to hear from you again. Take care, buddy.
Oh, great to hear from y'all. Go Gators.
Go Gators.
Go Gators.
Florida Man.
There we go. Florida Man.
He is the best. Now, just a quick note.
And it worked, so.
Yeah. I just had a texter sending, and I was told sirens are currently going off. Tornado sirens are currently going off, which means
if your back is to the window in the studio, but I just saw a bolt of lightning.
And if the sirens are going off, that means the tornado has been spotted somewhere. It may not have touched down, but
take safety.
Yes, if you are listening to us and you are in the Marengo, Union, Northern Illinois area, please seek shelter right away.
There is a severe thunderstorm warning from 7:14 to 8 p.m., so we got about a half hour left on that. Dangerous thunderstorm alert, tornado watch. No, you're saying warning. I'm going to pull the radar up here.
Yeah,
see, we just give you everything right here on.
You're not going to find this up and down the dial anywhere.
We say sports and stuff, and this is part of this. Oh, look at this blob coming right there.
Oh, that's nasty. That is nasty.
If we go off the air, folks, it's because the power went out. But we're safe here, so we'll call it as long as we can.
Yeah, we will. We will stay on the air.
Stay safe and bring your radio with you. So
there you go. Well, actually, you got to be a computer, right? You'd have to, or your phone.
Your phone, yeah.
Yeah, you can listen to us
on the phone, yeah.
Sure.
So, all right. Thanks, Florida man. Glad he's back on the team. Brian will be back next week. So, we talked about the Final Four and all that. So now next on sports, real quick, Marengo High School sports updates. I got softball. They're 1 and 2.
Actually, they are now, I want to say 3 and 4.
Oh, okay. Overall. So I'm reading it off of the wrong internet. 3 and 4.
Yeah, I believe they're 3 and 4 now.
Have they started conference play yet?
No.
Okay.
So. Excuse me. Let me back up. I think they're 3 and 5. They started off the year 0 and 4. Then they came back and they got a couple of victories, and then they went over to Barrington just like a week ago, and they got
15 to 2. Good. Yeah,
but they won recently here.
You called the game the other night. Yeah,
and so they are close to 500. Let me put it at that. So not looking too bad. They're They're very young. They're a very young team.
And this is sort of normal where you start out the baseball too. You start out the beginning. You don't do a lot of conference play, right?
Correct. I believe. For the girls, the softball, the first conference game is Monday against one of the Woodstock schools.
So, and that's sort of to let you get warmed up too, right?
Yeah, and get through typically the bad weather.
It's one day it's 30, the next day it's 75, then it's screaming lightning and warnings
like
and
this and
all that, and so.
Well, there was. What was scheduled today? I think there was a boys' baseball game that was scheduled today. Obviously, it was canceled.
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm just doing this off the top of my head. The upcoming athletic events that I'm aware of. There's a girls' soccer game tomorrow night. I believe it's going to be under the lights because I think they play at 6:30.
Okay.
So that's tomorrow night, and then Saturday the girls have like a softball invite. And if I'm not mistaken, there's 6 teams that'll be there. So the Indians play at 10 o'clock Saturday morning, and they will play again at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, okay.
Saturday after. So they'll have 2 games Saturday.
Tennis and track. Do you got anything going on with track?
With track, they've had a couple of indoor meets and actually have looked relatively good, both the boys and the girls. Both teams will start their regular season, outdoor season, Monday. They go over to Genoa, and then Tuesday they're at Richmond, and then a week from Saturday is the Ed Reeves Invitational, and that's here, and they draw about 10 or 12 teams. And that's a fun Saturday morning. That runs from about 9 till 1. So, and we're planning on, assuming that our equipment is working, we're going to do some broadcasting.
Do some broadcasting?
Yeah.
We'll do some broadcasting. That'll be fun.
Get some kids to interview.
And then we got boys tennis and
tennis. I don't know much about except that they had to hire an assistant because they got
a big team. Yep. I know that they've been practicing indoors because it's really wind is one sport where wind like ruins it.
Yeah, I'm not sure they've been able to have a meeting unless they've had some indoors.
Yeah,
so I haven't seen any scores in the paper.
So we'll try to keep you up to date on that. So moving right ahead, here's a topic, not a fun topic. Tiger Woods. So here's my question to you. And I know you're not a golfer, but you're a sports guy. Some people say he should be a private citizen and this is none of our business. And other people say it is our business. What do you say?
Well, obviously he's in the public eye. And from the standpoint of whether or not it's our business, here's the way I look at it. Yeah, the old, don't ever meet your heroes in person because you'll be disappointed.
Right.
But he's still, he's still Tiger Woods. He's still one of the greatest golfers of all time. And I'm sure that there's still a lot of people that hold him in very high esteem. So when he pulls the shenanigans that he's pulled here lately, it's just not good, Tim. I don't know. I guess the way I would look at it, and I'm sure people will disagree with me, I kind of think he owes it to the people who pay money to buy his stuff, whatever that is. I'm not a golfer. That pay to watch him golf with all the big TV contracts and everything. He owes it to him to behave himself. And
I'm with you on that. And so I don't think you get to fall back on the I'm a private figure if you make your life public and you're so public. Some heat the last cut. So I think yesterday he announced he's going out of the country for some sort of rehabilitation.
Okay.
Some people I've been reading online are giving or he's catching flack, depending on which side, about that what you just said, that he needs to become clean, but that they think the PGA is sort of giving him a free ride on this one, because their statement that came out is, we wish him, which we all, we wish him the best, and it's a private moment and stuff like that.
Sure.
But I'm going to go back to, and I'm a golfer.
Mm-hmm.
We said this before when we were talking about basketball. Money drives.
It absolutely does.
And one thing, even though he's 50 years old now, and he's for 30 years, he's been PGA golf, especially the last 10 years where he doesn't play that often.
I'm sure he's still a huge draw.
If he would have played in the Masters, which he was going to try to do, we don't know, he won't now, but if he would have played in the Masters, their viewership would have been, it's crazy off the board anyway, but it would have been crazy, crazy, crazy off the board. He just draws people.
Out of curiosity, have you ever gone to a professional golf match?
Yes.
Okay, so you buy a ticket and you maybe will sit at the third tee.
So there's a few ways you can do it. Some people say I'm going to sit at the third tee. Some people say I'm going to sit at the 17th green where there's par threes. Or some people say I'm going to walk with the group.
Okay.
It's up to you. And some people will do both. They'll walk with the group a little while. I'm just going to follow these two players and watch them. Or I'm going to camp out at this green and just watch as the players come through.
Just out of curiosity, what if you're going to do that at the Masters? And I'm sure it's difficult to get a ticket. How much would that cost?
To get a ticket at the Masters?
Yeah.
Hardest ticket to get in sports is the Masters, any sporting event.
I would believe that.
But here's something funny about the Masters. Their tickets are cheap. Their vending is cheap. It's cheap, cheap, cheap. Now, I'm assuming if you buy a ticket on the second market, if you can even do that for the Masters, you know what I mean, where someone resells it, it's probably crazy. The average person can't afford it, but I don't know if they allow that for the Masters.
Because I was going to guess, just speculating and knowing nothing about this, that it would probably cost you $500 to buy a ticket. But it sounds like I'm way off.
I think you're way off. I'm thinking on the second market it would be thousands of dollars. But here's something interesting about the Masters. We can maybe next week talk a little bit with it coming up. Actually, we will. But for the hardest place to be there, when you go home tonight, Google what it costs for concessions at the Masters.
And the only reason I bring this up, Tim, is just it goes back to the Tiger Woods thing. People will pay to see him.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
So, I mean, people are going to pay to get in there anyway, regardless of. But if Tiger Woods is going, they're going to draw huge, huge, huge crowds.
Yep.
And maybe they jack the ticket price up 10%. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
And there's great golfers. He's been in the sport 30 years, a little more, 32 or something.
No,
a pro 30 years. He's. And there's great golfers now. There's Scotty Shutt. But no one's like him.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Now, I mean, if he gets himself cleaned up, gets his life squared away and everything,
I'll take him back.
There's a senior circuit too, isn't it?
Well, he's old enough to do the senior circuit right now.
Okay.
You got to be 50. Now, the difference in the senior circuit and the biggest difference from senior circuit to the regular PGA, and you can play in either one. Well, you got to be 50 to play in the seniors, but you can be a senior and play in the regular ones too. You get to ride in a cart in the seniors.
I was just going to say, if I understand, and again, with like the Masters or any of those other tournaments
You
that
gotta
aren't
walk.
seniors, you walk. Everybody
You walk.
walks the
So
entire.
seniors, you get to ride in the cart
Okay,
on the senior tour. If you're a senior, you don't get to ride in a cart on the regular PGA tour.
gotcha. Okay,
And for someone like Tiger Woods, that's big because an auto accident, and like he had a compound fracture of his leg, and supposedly we can only surmise is that through his injuries throughout the year, that's part of his problem with his abuse.
yeah.
It doesn't appear that he's a guy that was buying drugs behind the 7-Eleven to
No,
get high.
I agree. I don't think that was happening. Now, I remember when he came on, but he was kind of a phenom, wasn't he? Didn't he come out as a teenager? And
Yeah, when he was a little kid, they knew he was gonna be good.
He was
so.
just once in a lifetime deal.
I mean, the question that comes up, that's come up with all his problems in the last 10 or 15 years, is if you're a billionaire, which he is, billion with a B, why don't you have a driver? And he actually answered that this week. He said, I don't like people telling me what to do, and I want to do what I want to do.
Well,
And it's
that makes all of us. I mean,
yeah.
who among us, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know, Tim.
I mean, I'll give him credit one thing, because he could surely fight this, but he seems to be taking
and
ownership of it.
I sometimes, and I'm not saying it's this way, but sometimes in situations like this, it's kind of like, geez, if nothing else, I got to show that I'm trying to do this. So I'm going to go to a rehab, and I'm going to spend 6 weeks in rehab, and I'm going to come out, and I'm going to be healthy, and I'm going to look in, and then a week from now, I'm going to fall off the wagon, and I'm going to be right back to doing what I was doing.
Well, we hope he doesn't do that.
I hope so too, for his sake, yeah, because he's just.
I mean, one of the stories is that because he's got a new girlfriend that he's had for over a year, who happens to be Donald Trump's ex-daughter-in-law, and that supposedly she really laid into him.
Well, maybe it squares, because that's another problem he's had, because he was married to that young woman, I can't remember her name, and then he got caught and got himself in trouble, and since then it's just been a parade, and I guess professional athletes probably more often than not, they seem to go one way or the other. They get married, they have families, they become very incredibly responsible, they save their money, they retire out, and then they start businesses, and they're successful, and they're good citizens. Or you go the other way. You spend your bonus check on stupid jewelry, and then 10 years from now, you're
Mr. T
washing dishes to make a living.
Which happens a lot.
Yeah,
So,
it happens a lot.
Well, we wish him well, because he's good for the sport. He's good for athletics.
Yep.
And
he's kind of Michael. I mean, you say Tiger Woods, probably around the world, people know who you're talking about.
Oh, absolutely. Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan. He'll be, he's a Muhammad Ali of golf.
Yep.
He's going to be that guy. So we wish him well, and we'll follow and see what's happening.
Yep.
All right. Here's a fun subject. The Bears, specifically the Bears Stadium. So last time when Brian was here, our inaugural show, it was, are they moving or not moving? And you two said they're not moving. And I said, I think they're moving.
Well,
there was an article in the Northwest Herald today. Did you get to read it?
I got the Herald, but I haven't had a chance to read it.
Okay. It doesn't say anything that we don't. There's nothing in there that goes, oh.
The NFL owners just got back from their meeting.
And didn't the commissioner stand up and say, you guys need to do something?
Well, kind of. And then Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles and George McCaskey, mostly McCaskey and Warren, basically said, we want to have a new stadium built by 2030. That's the goal. That's the plan.
Well, then they're going to Indiana.
And they said, we have to have to do that, we have to have a decision made late spring, early summer. And I think they're kind of basing that on when the Illinois legislature dismisses for the year, which is like May 31st.
Yeah, they have to have a budget by May 31st.
Yes, so by then certainly the decisions would be made. But if I understand right, I heard George McCaskey on a little news blurb this morning, and basically he said, Tim, we're at a point where we don't think it's going to matter. That basically our fan base is going to, there'll be some adjustment times, but he said there was an adjustment when we jumped from Wrigley to Soldier Field. There was an adjustment when we spent 5 years in Champaign. There's going to be an adjustment, and there's probably going to be some people that are put off by it. But we have ticket holders in the south suburbs where it'll be a lot more convenient for them to go to Indiana than it will to Soldier Field.
So I still think they're leaving.
You do? I think in the end they're gonna. I think that the folks from Arlington Heights are gonna pull it out. Although, to your point, financially, right now, you look at it, it would make a whole lot more sense to go to Indiana.
Well, I look at it. I look at it that way, and we talked about the family before and how the fingers go way out. And
yeah, and they're not. And Brian and I were talking about this last night. They're not billionaires. They're
cash poor actually.
Yes, the team itself is worth billions. I don't know, 3, 4, 5 billion, whatever it is. But the McCaskies are not rich like Jerry Jones rich.
Bill, your house is worth $1 million. Doesn't do you any good until you sell it.
Exactly. Yeah,
you could take equity out of it, but I don't know. Can you take equity out of a football team? They don't own anything.
And one of the things that McCaskey said was they're going to have to go to investors to build this, and most likely they'll have to sell equity in the team. So they may have to give up 10, 15, 20% of the team to generate the cash.
I hope they stay, but I think they're going to leave for the money. And I think the other reason is we know that politics drives everything in Illinois. Politics first, business second. And the way I look at it is that either way they're leaving Chicago. So there's a big chunk of legislators that are in Chicago because that's where all the people are that are in Springfield, representatives and senators. And they get nothing out of this, whether they move to Arlington Heights or whether they move to Indiana. I don't know what their end good thing is, because either way they're leaving the city.
Now, one thing that was brought out this morning, and this is a little far-fetched, but again, to your point with politics and let's be honest, J.B. Pritzker has made no bones about the fact that he's really eyeing the White House in 2028.
Absolutely.
He wants to make a presidential run. Now, if he lets the Bears leave, there is probably, 3,000 to 5,000 union jobs that disappear, that leave Illinois because of that, and billions of dollars in income.
I would think that number would be higher.
My point is that under those circumstances, are the unions going to come through and say, well, yeah, J.B. Pritzker's really on our side? That's just Bill talking. I don't know.
On a national level, I don't think it would matter.
Probably won't matter that much, and it depends upon what unions. I mean, if AFL-CIO, they wield a lot of power in the United States, not as much as they used to. But that's a big. But
you surely want their endorsement.
You want the union, and typically the Democrats have always had union endorsement.
Well, the other thing is, an old guy, Jim Thompson, did this many years ago and saved your White Sox. Because they were leaving.
Yep. On the 11th hour.
On the 11th hour, he stopped the clock and worked both sides of the table and figured out a way to do it, which was a terrible deal, by the way, for the state of Illinois citizens, which I think we're still paying for, right?
Probably.
But that would be a feather in Pritzker's cap to say, I made him stay here.
Yeah, it would be huge. But this is a discussion for another show. Voters in general have short memories, Tim. So.
That's the other thing. So I'm going to leave with this because you mentioned his name. They hired Kevin Warren. He's the president of the team. Mm-hmm. So he answers to McCaskey.
Correct.
Or the board, but it's McCaskey.
Yep.
And then, so he doesn't stick his nose in football stuff, right?
That is correct.
And we're told they specifically hired him to build a stadium.
That is also correct.
Because he'd built the stadium in Minnesota.
Yep.
And then he was the commissioner of the Big Ten.
Yes, he was. I forgot about that. Yep.
And then they hired him, and he was brought in. He's sort of been a cluster, hasn't he?
Well, I think he was a little bit taken by surprise in the way that Illinois politics works. I mean, people can talk about it, but until you've lived it and had to deal with it.
He hasn't done a good job.
Frankly, he hasn't.
And part of it is that their ownership's always been sort of in disarray.
Yeah.
And so now you add him to it. I'm thinking the statements he made when they're getting ready to play Green Bay, and you hear that those listening at home.
I can hear it through the microphone. Yeah, there's some noise outside.
The thunder. So anyway, we're still on the air, but I'm sure they'll keep him, but he hasn't, in my estimation, he has not done what he was brought to do.
No, I agree, Tim. And what's he been with him, 3 years now?
Yeah.
And to me, we keep getting a lot of lip service out of the Bears in regards to the stadium thing, because we're going here, we're going there. No, we're not. We're waiting. Okay, we've decided. No, we haven't. It just seems to be going back and forth like that.
So if they Do you think they have a stadium by 2030?
They're going to have shovels in the ground, I would think, probably by like this summer or this fall, if they want to make 2030.
I think it's easier to do it 2030 in Indiana than it is to do here, too.
I would guess. I'm not
Back
sure.
to the union thing. Not to pick on unions. Actually, more of all the hoops you have to jump through, environmental stuff and all that. It's just more difficult because it's more politics.
And according to Moore, he says we're not backing off of Indiana. We're proceeding with doing the soil testing and whatever has to go into all of that. So they're gonna. So I guess what they're trying to do is set themselves up, Tim, so that whenever it's time to pull the trigger, everything will be in place. And okay, we're ready to go. Let's go.
Ready to go. Well, we'll know in about 60 days. It sounds like
we certainly will.
NFL meetings this week. You brushed on that a little bit. The owners are pushing the 18 games.
Yes, they are.
The players are against it.
If I were an athlete, I would be too.
But I bet that gets worked out.
The players' union is obviously pushing back on that, but my guess is, again, money talks.
Money talks.
So
players don't want to do it because it's just so much abuse on their body.
It is. I mean, by the end of the season, I had a friend of mine who actually played a couple of years for the Philadelphia Eagles. He was on the first Super Bowl team that the Eagles played on, and then the Eagles cut him, and he played in the old USFL for the New Jersey Generals, I think it was.
Okay,
and he did that for about 5 years, and then he moved on with his life. But I was asking him one time. I said, "What's it like to play professional football?" And this is the way he put it. He said, "Have you ever had like a real bad case of the flu when you wake up in the morning and just you're dehydrated and everything aches?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "That's what it feels like all the time." That's the NFL.
I know they've talked about if they do 18 games, the owners said stuff. They floated things this last meeting, which was just last week. They floated things about 2 bye weeks. One, but then they want everyone to play 1 foreign game, every team to do 1 foreign game and stuff like that. So we'll see, but I think in the end, money talks. They're just going to have to throw more money.
Well, with the TV rights, I was listening to the Score this morning, and one of the things they brought up, Tim, was the possibility of one of the things the owners were looking at, potentially was like playing every day of the week. Because right now there's short week rules, and I'm not sure.
So they talked about, I'm glad you said that, because they talked about if they go to the 18 games, they'll go to 2 pre-games instead of 3. So that would make up the week, but I see the season starting sooner.
And they're definitely talking about playing Wednesday games, like the Black Friday game.
Didn't we bring this up last show where we said, are you going to ruin it?
You know what? The only thing they said that was they're not going to do the 2 Monday night games anymore.
I did see. Well, what I read said they're going to do Monday night games, but they're not going to have them overlap.
That was a problem because they said in some cases you had a split screen and you're trying to watch 2 games and it was
so maybe I got to read that up again.
And I think there's a lot of it's speculation, but they said, well, maybe we'll move one.
Well, I'm going to go back.
I'm going to
go back that if you start doing that, you start diluting things.
Absolutely.
Because now, other than following my own team, I'm not going to. Because even now, I don't always watch the Thursday night game.
I don't. Well,
I will if I got nothing going on. But if something's going on, if the Bears are, but if it's Denver's playing San Diego, unless I remember that it's Thursday night and there's a game and there's nothing else that I'm doing, then I'll flip the game on.
Well, that aside, Tim, it's on Prime or it's on Apple TV or something, which I don't necessarily get, so I can't watch it anyway.
So we're the old guys here, but I just remember Sunday was football and then Monday night was football.
We did the football game, yeah.
And I remember. It's got nothing to do with being married or anything, but I remember when I was a single guy, it was like on Monday night, I looked forward to Monday night being home alone, cooking a pizza, and just me on my Archie Bunker chair with my pizza or whatever I decided to have, watching Monday Night Football.
Yep, and again, it didn't matter who was playing.
Nope.
It was just Monday Night Football.
It sort of, that was it. So now I don't know if I'm going to watch Tuesday Night Football or Wednesday.
Well, because if you really want football, a lot of the mid-major college teams, like the MAC conference plays on Tuesday nights on ESPN, right? So pretty much you can get football all week. Friday night is high school football. Saturday typically is the good college games. So if you want football from August till February, you can almost watch it any day of the week if that's what you want. But the NFL doing that, Tim, I'm like you, they dilute it, and I just don't think that'd be a good move.
Well, we'll see what happens. Other things came up in the meeting, new rules, some kickoff rules. that really don't pertain that much.
Not
Something
that
about if
much.
you kick off, you can say onside kicking anytime during the game.
Correct, and that's because in the past, and I can't remember how this works. I remember them doing it. They purposely kick out of bounds so then they get the ball at 30 instead of doing an onside kick. And
then with the same thing, something about kicking off from the 50 on a previous penalty. If you kick it out of bounds, you don't get penalty.
Exactly. Yeah, that type of thing. So I don't know if that's going to change or not, but those rules are minuscule.
I think one of the other rules that popped up, because there was like 4 or 5 of them that popped up. 4 of them had to do with the kicking thing, and I think the 5th one is that if the refs miss a call now on like a flagrant foul or something, whatever they call it in the NFL, the booth can call it.
That's probably not and I'm sure that the officials don't like that, but there were blatant miscalls, especially like pass interference calls.
Yeah.
Blatantly missed.
So if a flag's not thrown, the guy in New York that sees it on one of his screens that they missed can blow the whistle or whatever and say,
that was a missed call. We need to at least review it.
Yeah, we're going to review that call. You guys missed it. So, and speaking of officials, we'll end this with the NFL officiating strike.
Yeah, and I think part of it, Tim, goes back to the 18 games
and the money, and everyone's getting rich.
Because I know
why not us?
The NFL is now talking to like high school and minor college
I thought
officials.
I heard something this morning, maybe on the Score, where they said they're starting to train.
Yeah, they are. They're anticipating a strike.
Because these talks, they say they're as far apart as they can be. And the officials want big money, and the NFL doesn't want to give it to them.
And that'll be interesting, because if the NFL thinks they had an officiating problem before, when you're bringing in high school referees to try to officiate NFL games, that's not going to be good. Not going to be good at all.
I see they have a lawsuit against them from one of the first female referees.
Yeah, I saw she was, I know they had 1 or 2, and she seemed to do okay. But they cut her loose, or she was terminated, or
she was terminated, and she's coming back saying that she was basically discriminated against because of her sex.
Was there a reason for the termination? They
didn't say why the reason of the termination was. I think she seems to think because she complained. So it'll come out. I mean, I don't know.
Eventually.
Eventually.
And you know what? I mean, if you or I are terminated, usually it's not public knowledge. Why?
Does it bother you to have female refs?
No, I don't care. Not at all. I mean, I know there's female umpires that are working in minor leagues. I don't know if
they've had a few that do that have done stints in the majors.
That's what I thought. That they've come up. Your pizza's here.
No.
So, no, I wish. And like I said, as a matter of fact, I'd always thought, okay, so you've got a female who's around men who are 6'6" and 300 pounds. How are they going to do? And she obviously didn't take any guff off of any of them.
No.
But there are rules. I mean, they can't touch an official and all that stuff.
No.
But
I have no problem with that. To me, it's a no-brainer. It's
I thought she stayed up with the game and
pick the best official. I don't care who you are.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's she wants to do. And again, I didn't think she did a bad job, and I never heard anybody complain about it. So who knows?
All right, so we made it through the sports stuff.
All the sports stuff.
Now, we made it through sports. Now we're going to do the
now we're doing the stuff. Okay.
The stuff. So remember stuff. That's part of the cool thing about this show. We can talk about stuff that doesn't have to do with sports.
Yes.
So here's a fun maybe a fun topic. I've had it on the screen here. I got the weather now on watching this stuff, but we're going to the moon. We being the good old U.S. of A.
We are. There were 4 astronauts, I believe, 1 female, 3 males.
I believe in the last hour while we've been doing our show, they actually, because they went yesterday, I watched the launch, and they've been going around the good old the Earth, and now at some point they point them towards the moon and fire the rockets for 50 seconds, and then off they go, and 4 days later they're there.
So I think they're only going to circle. I don't think they're doing anything. It's like I don't think they're gonna land on the moon, or I thought they were just going to like orbit the moon and then they're going to turn around and come back, which I guess they're planning on eventually putting somebody back on the moon. But
Our producer just came in and she has something on her phone that someone said, we don't want to start any rumors, or someone said a tornado possibly touched down in the area. But we have nothing to show that.
Well, the sirens, when they run the sirens, that usually means there's one been spotted.
Right. So nothing we know about.
That's what I just heard was.
Who was that from?
Pardon?
Who was that from?
Grace.
Oh, okay.
They're in lockdown at high school.
Oh, okay.
In Woodstock. That's the Woodstock High School?
Lockdown, yeah.
Oh, my. Okay.
All right.
Well, we're in a safe spot here, so. Yeah.
You can come join us in the basement, right? So
there's an open mic, so you're welcome to join us. So our producer, what a wonderful woman. She's not an NFL official, but she does a good job.
yes, she does.
Yes, she does.
She keeps us in line.
So
and be safe out there. But we'll go on with the show now.
So the NASA thing, Tim, I don't understand anything about rocket science, but I think it has to do something with gravitational pulls. So as they circle the Earth, it's kind of like it's used as a slingshot at some point, and it shoots you
Because basically they do the math and figure out when they get there, and then they give you a blast. And since it's a vacuum in space, it's all is Isaac Newton stuff, stuff in a constant goes in one direction and stuff. So here's the real question, though, is should we be going back to the moon?
Well, of course, that was the argument the first time. What's the point? There's millions of dollars. But there was a lot of good things that came out of the space program. Tang, instant, right? Flip phones,
Velcro.
Yeah, all of this good stuff came out of the space program. So I'm assuming that there'll be more. Let me shift on you here a little bit. Would you want to go to the moon?
Absolutely.
You would go.
Yep.
I would think, Tim, that would be exhilarating and terrifying at the same
time.
I mean, It's like, what happens if we get stuck up here and we can't get back?
Mm-hmm.
If the rockets don't work?
Yeah.
I mean, even to send somebody up here to get us,
what
it's
if
going to
we
take
miss?
weeks.
What if we miss?
Or if they miss, and
miss.
by just a fraction of an inch,
Fraction
if they're off.
of the inch, because the
zip up
guy
and you're on your way to Mars.
spilled his coffee when he had his abacus out, figuring out. So here's what I'll say about it. So I remember 69, Apollo 11, watching it with my family.
Yep.
On the TV.
A little black and white. Yep.
Yeah, and just fantastic. But that was still part of the space race.
Yes, it was.
And for those young listeners, there was a space race that started in the early 60s, late 50s, actually. And it had to do with the Cold War in between us and Russia. That war's over.
Yeah, it is. And it was John Kennedy who said,
John Kennedy said, I believe,
in 62, we're going to the moon.
We're going to the moon. We're going to put, which they didn't have computers or anything back. There's more.
Everything was done off of slide rules.
There's more stuff in your little phone there than what they sent people to the moon.
That's very true.
And landed on the moon.
That is absolutely true.
Slide. Yeah. So now, and having said that, I think it's a great idea. First off, the cost. I did some research, and the NASA budget comes out. So every dollar that the federal government brings in to pay for everything, whether it's Social Security or the military or roads or schools or Medicare, Medicaid, you name it, everything NASA gets out of every dollar, their portion of it is like 1.5 tenths of a penny.
Really, in the scope of that, it's very tiny, is what you're saying.
Even though it's billions of dollars, it's in the big picture of the U.S. of A. It's spill money. Still doesn't make it okay because you could spill that money and give it somewhere else.
Of course, that would be an argument, but
I think it's great. First time a space geek guy. I like space movies. So full disclosure there. But I also think you just said you said it got us Tang and all that, the food things and flip watches. I think it's good for science.
I agree, because I'm sure that there's things we learn.
I think science has fallen off, especially at the middle school, grade school, high school level. I don't think science is pushed as much as it was when people our age were in school.
I would agree.
And if this gets people interested in science, and it doesn't necessarily have to be science to go to the moon, it's just science. If it gets you introduced into inventing things or making things better and engineering and all that, why not?
You make a good point, Tim, because I mean, how often have you heard So your child or somebody else's child will come home with algebra homework. When am I ever going to use this?
No, no, no.
Right. So my point here is that if you explain there is a usage of this and you need this knowledge to be able to figure out these things to get somebody into space, then okay, well, now it makes sense. I can see where there's an end to the means here, that type of thing. So your point is real good. I
So I
never
always thought
considered
math,
it.
especially algebra, was good to teach you problem solving, and not so much problem solving even for math, but just
critical thinking.
critical thinking,
Yes.
because you learn that there's an equation or that there's steps to solving a problem. How do I don't know how to jump the battery on my car. It's got nothing to do with math, but it gets your brain thinking of, okay, well, if I don't know how to do that, I can figure out how to do it. There's a process, and math teaches that
it's
process.
interesting. People our age, when I talk, especially those that are mechanically inclined, I'm not, but somebody that is will say that, Tim. They'll say, "Well, my washing machine broke. Well, did you call somebody to fix it? No, I took it apart and I figured, okay, this is A, this is B, this is C. To get to C, A and B have got to be working. A and B is not working because we don't have C. That's the logic behind it. So I got to fix A and B.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the way their brain thinks. And a lot of that is because of the critical thinking was taught with science and math and things like that. So I agree. Hopefully this will be a boost. I think medically too, there's medical things that come out of, and I don't know what they are, but
No, but there's things over the years just with the International Space Station and with all that, and with back when they had the shuttle and everything, where they would grow certain things in space that would grow different than they would grow down here.
Did you know that the Voyager satellites that were launched in the
They're still out there
they're
humming around,
still out there,
and sending signals back.
and they said that the power that is running on is like equal to like a single cell battery. I mean, it's like next to, but it keeps going for some reason, and it's gone beyond our solar system now.
Well, I believe one of the rovers is still roving on Mars.
Oh, yeah, because once in a while we'll see pictures of that on the internet, which is really cool. It's just like you'd imagine Mars to be red and nothing.
Yeah, and
There's
then
a lot of rocks.
one of them that was supposed to die like 11 years ago or whatever, or 6, whatever, it's still out there,
still going,
humming along, sending stuff back. So,
which I think is really cool.
So I think if you break it down to why are we going to the moon, what are we going to do there? I think then you have a good argument to say we've been there. What are you going to do? But I think when you break it down in the big picture of things, I think it's a good idea.
I absolutely do too. If nothing else, it's just out of curiosity. Why not? So we don't know what's out there. Do you realize that
we're going to see the other side? Well, the other astronauts saw it, but now we're going to see the other side of the moon.
Other side, which is dark.
Just what I've watched. Did you watch the launch?
No, I watched a recording of it. I didn't watch it.
I watched it, but one of the cooler things is back between 69 and 70 and now is that the graphics are so much better and the cameras and everything that we can see. So I'm waiting to see when they get there to see what we see and the dark side of the moon, Pink Floyd.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. So
did you were talking about when we were little, and did you stay up to watch Neil Armstrong?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. We went to bed. My parents came and woke us up and said, "You got to get up and watch this."
I remember there was the town carnival, and which our family would go to every year. One night, and we went that night, and we left early to get home to get set up to watch him take the step.
I got to tell you, I just because this was 1969.
Yep.
And that was amazing to think that they were able to televise, what's the moon, 250,000 miles away?
Yeah, something like that.
And they were sending television signals back that far, and they were pretty clear.
Pretty clear.
Yeah, that was a cool thing. So, yeah, I'm all for it. I think it's a great thing.
Well, they'll be on their way back when we do the show next week.
Yeah, because now, correct me if I'm wrong. They weren't landing.
They're not landing. They're gonna circle. They're going to be farther away than the Apollo things, and they're going to circle and test. And this is basically a test flight. And then the next flight is Artemis 3, which will be another test flight, but they're not going to the moon. They're testing close and docking and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then by 2028, we should be heading to the moon and landing on there. So that seems like a long way away, but it's not.
Well, good Lord willing, we'll still be alive.
Maybe we'll have shovels in the ground for the Bears Stadium by then.
Yeah, let's hope Kevin Warren is in charge of the space program.
Let's hope not. So anyway, all right. So we're watching the weather here. I just got the radar up here, so there's really not a lot we can do.
It's
and you got your list of articles.
I got
we haven't done
few,
them. Let's
few
close out with
we
those.
can close out here. I got some birthdays. I always closed out on that. We would start our Thursday show with obituaries, and there was two that I wanted to bring up. First of all, Dash Crofts from Seals and Crofts.
Both of them are gone now.
They're both gone. Yep. Like their music. I think I bought at least one of their albums, and that goes back to the 70s.
They had a lot of good hits.
They were good.
Both lived in their mid 80s.
Yeah, and like I said, like their music, but one more.
Another one.
Rock and roll's getting old, man. The other one is James Tolkien, and when I read this, I thought, from Top Gun.
You're a slacker, McFly.
Slacker. Everybody was a slacker. Yes.
Doesn't he say your father was a slacker? Your brother was a slacker.
Yep.
You're all slackers.
Otherwise, he was the Tom Stinger Jardian. So, James Tolkien, he died. He was
90-something, yeah.
94.
Okay.
So, he's gone. So, just here's some just quick blurbs.
Well, we got plenty of time.
The King and Queen of England are going to be visiting the United States here.
Oh, are they?
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah. Bloody well.
Cheerio.
The president invited them both, and so they will be coming the 27th through the 30th of this month. So there'll be probably a huge state dinner and, everything that goes with... Boy,
that's a whole soap opera right there, isn't it? With what's going on over there.
The royal...
It always has been.
I remember reading a story about Reagan had, when Charles was prince and he was married to Diane, he had them over. So the prince and the princess of Wales came over to visit the Reagans. And so Reagan says, we're like this is just the four of us, and we're in the living quarters, and so we brought tea. They brought tea. So tea comes in, and the tea bag is in the cup, and Charles didn't know what to do with it. It's like, what do I do with this? He had no idea what to do with the tea bag.
So here's the amazing thing. There's a lot of amazing things. The amazing thing to me is that they really don't do nothing from our perspective here across the pond. Other than the ceremonial stuff. They don't run the country anymore.
They really don't. Parliament runs it.
Parliament runs it and the prime minister. They don't even pick the prime minister, although the prime minister has to come and meet the...
Yeah, it's kind of an official thing that the prime minister is elected, and then he has to appear to the king or queen, and basically the king or queen has to give the blessing and say, yeah, I accept you.
Yes.
It's a rubber stamp.
But it's a ceremonial type thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
They're like the richest people in the world, supposedly.
They're incredibly wealthy. Yeah. But where do they get their money, Tim?
They cost a lot of money from...
Is it from the government? Because
from the government.
They don't work.
And a lot of it is in art and jewels and stuff their families have collected over the years. They got this goofy hierarchy thing, how they pick people. And so we look at it and go, how do they even survive? Why don't people over there go, you're out, don't give them any more money? But you go over across the pond and go over there, and if you talk about that, there's some that'll say, yeah, we should get rid of them. But they are really royalty over there.
Most people, they like
the monarchy.
Now, it's royal blood, right? So it's the royal blood line.
Yes.
So William and Catherine have 3 children. The oldest boy is future king.
Yep.
So if his oldest child, male or female, will be the future ruler that will follow him.
Yes.
Unless he passes without children, and then it would move down to his next brother.
There's a whole thing with, like, if they abdicate. So that's how Queen Elizabeth got in, because her father's brother abdicated.
Correct.
Because he wanted to marry a girl that was divorced, and that was a no-no back then. So that threw the whole bloodline off.
So, well, think about this. The way they came to power is somebody had a bigger sword than the other guy.
Right,
and they killed somebody along the way, and they took over, and now they're the royal blood.
Way back when, wasn't there a lot of inbreeding and stuff like that?
I'm sure there was. Yeah. But I think they can trace their family bloodline back 1,000 years, I think.
Okay.
I mean, it goes way back for the Windsors. It's way back.
Way back.
Yeah, so they've maintained this bloodline.
And you got the Germans mixed in there somehow with them, and
well, yeah, those were the days when the English prince would marry the German princess, and then we've got good relations between the two countries.
And we're all good until something, and then we're not good. And yeah, it's well,
until the Prince meets
our producer Tony,
Epstein
she loves watching those shows. Well, that whole Epstein thing, that's
another day. I make light
thing.
of that. But
they're handling that pretty good, though. I mean, they've ousted him from everything.
I think under the circumstances, they've almost had to, because there was so much bad press. It's like, ooh, it's almost like, go away. We've got.
But you do what you talking about? You know, he didn't know how to take the tea bag out, and they talk about Prince Charles, or King Charles now, and I'm actually a defender of him when I hear the stories, because they'll talk about how he has to have his bath a certain way and how his shoelaces have to be ironed and he has to have the same, you know, all these things that you and I just find ridiculous. But I'm like, if you were born and raised that way and that's your normal, now it'd be one thing if you said I have to do, but if that's the way you were born and raised, it sounds ridiculous. But if that's your normal, it's your normal.
Well, and the way I look at it is, let's go to the iron shoelaces, which you and I would say that's really stupid.
Yeah.
Although it's part of making sure that suit is pressed and cleaned every day. And those shoes have a very high polish on them, and those laces are perfectly laid.
Yeah.
I mean, it all comes down to that, because they're under that much of a gun where somebody's going to look at him and say, "Oh, God, his shoes."
But for us, it's easy to look. You're wasting time and money, and people are concerned with that.
Absolutely,
You
really,
know?
that's so petty. But but that's
what do they do? What does he do if he probably doesn't tie his own shoes, so he doesn't have to worry about breaking his shoelace?
I'm sure he doesn't shave himself in the morning. Somebody they pay to do that.
Jeeves or something like that.
Did you hear about this Army helicopter that kind of went past Kid Rock's house, and he was out there saluting, and so the Army's looking into it, but it's like Kid Rock said, I didn't call him. He just showed up.
They looked into it, and it's already been the Secretary of Defense Heggsmith or whatever his name is has said it. Okay.
Apparently, these guys probably just knew where Kid Rock lived, and they flew by real quick. And he's
so I'm going to say this, that you could make the argument, well, why did they da? But I don't care what job you're in, government or not. Sometimes you just do things that you do things. Maybe they're not the smartest thing, but they're fun.
They're fun, and yeah. So somebody's going to make.
I mean, why do we do flyovers all the time for athletic events? And really, what's that for?
Oh no, well, it's for the crowd. Everybody goes nuts. Yeah. Fires everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, but really, what does I mean? Other than, to me, when I'm going to say other than the rah-rah is important, but that's what it's for.
Sure.
Esprit de corps, all that stuff.
Oh, everything. Yeah. It's a big deal. So let's fly over Kid Rock's house.
And wave. I believe the picture I saw, he's standing out and he's saluting him on his pool deck or something like that.
Yeah, and it's like, I didn't ask him to come here. He just showed up. Okay, well, let's look at some birthdays here, Tim, before we shut it down.
Is this going to make me feel old?
No.
Older than I feel?
Maybe. Allie McGraw, 87.
Ooh.
Annette O'Toole, 74.
That's funny you say, because I saw yesterday, I was channel surfing and Love Story came on.
Okay, and
she was like 18.
I was going to say I don't think she was 20 when that came out. Annette O'Toole, if you remember, she did that movie with Robbie Benson. What was that? I'm trying to blank.
He's the basketball player.
The basketball guy, yeah. Susan Boyle, singer, 65. Let's see, who else do we have here that we might know? Oh, we have the rapper Method Man. He's 55. There you go, Tim. One of your favorites.
Sure, I got him in my playlist somewhere.
Michael York, 84. Quentin Tarantino, 63. Paula Perrette from NCIS.
Okay, yeah. She was like the science, like the lab girl.
57. Fergie from Black Eyed Peas, 51. Halle Berry is... Oh, Halle Bailey. I'm sorry. Halle Bailey. She's 26, not Barry. Let me see. Who else? Shirley Jones. Partridge Family.
Partridge Family.
92. Herb Albert, 91.
Herb Albert is still touring.
It's amazing. He still plays pretty good.
I would think, like, I never played the trumpet or whatever he plays, like the trumpet or whatever, right?
You need some air, right? Yeah, you need some air to push through it. Christopher Walken is 83. Gabe Kaplan, Welcome Back, Kotter, 82.
Hold on, Christopher Walken.
83.
Need more cowbell.
Cowbell.
Yeah.
He's 83. That's hard to believe. And Welcome Back, Kotter, 82. Rhea Perlman from Cheers, 78. Ed Marinero from
Hill Street Blues, 76. And an NFL player.
He was, yeah. Angus Young, guitarist for AC/DC, 71. Let's see. Who else do we might have here? We got one more. Charlie McCoy from Hee Haw is 85. Reba McEntire, 71. The rapper Salt from Salt and Peppa is 60. And one more here. The rapper Mr. Cheeks from the Lost Boys is 55. Oh, Julia Stiles, 45. Lady Gaga, 40.
Okay.
So quite a collection of folks here on the birthday list this week. So I mentioned MCHS athletics coming up this week tomorrow. Girls soccer, weather permitting.
Weather permitting. There's more storms on the way.
And Saturday, 2 girls softball games, 1 at 10, 1 at 3 at Rod Poppy Fields.
We got Easter weekend for those of you that celebrate in the Christian
Happy
faith
Easter.
with most of us. So Holy Week going on this week.
Tomorrow's Good Friday.
Tomorrow's Good Friday. So celebrate responsibly and God bless to all of you. And
Absolutely.
Good for that. Doing anything for Easter?
I'm not. Just staying at home, doing the usual ham dinner type.
So basketball, they play Saturday.
Yes, the U of I will play Saturday, and I want to
like
say
five?
they got like the 5:09 game or
something like that.
And Illinois State will be tipping off in just a few minutes for the NIT.
And then so both games. So Sundays, do they play NCAA play on Sunday?
NCAA will not play Sunday. The championship game will be Monday.
Monday
I'm guessing
night.
The NIT championship will probably be. Let's see, what's this Thursday? That'll probably be Saturday or Sunday.
Okay.
I'm not sure. So lots of sports stuff coming up.
Yeah.
And
Well,
if you're a White Sox fan, go to church on Good Friday.
well, the opening day today, I'm guessing they didn't make
They
it.
didn't play. They moved
didn't
that back
play.
till
So
tomorrow.
they didn't lose.
No, they're bad.
Are they?
They've played, I want to say 6 games. They're 1-5, and they have given up 62 runs. They got some problems.
Is it a pitching problem
I
or a
think-
fielding problem or a little
Well,
of
it's
everything?
it's pitching primarily, but I mean they're giving up 100 runs.
Are they going to be bad just until they get new ownership and get new?
We were talking about that the other day. I think so, Tim. I mean, Reinsdorf has already sold 20% of the team to that guy in Minnesota. With the deal, it is like within the next 2 to 4 years, he's selling out completely, and this is the guy that's going to take it over. So hopefully that'll be sooner rather than later. I have a hard time believing that they've lost 100 plus games for 4 years in a row.
That's pretty bad. It's got to be some sort of record, right?
I can't believe they're going to go a 5th year losing 100 games.
And they even when they do their rebuilds, they're really not doing rebuilds, are they?
They're playing a lot of young kids. And at this point, if it doesn't get better in the next couple of weeks, I'd start looking at AA players. Why not? What do you got to lose? Bring them up, give them a shot, let them see what they can do. Because they're just bad, Tim. They aren't even. I don't watch them because you got to subscribe, but I'll tune in the radio. And the White Sox are on. I'll tune in 3rd inning, and they're down by 6 runs already. I mean, it's just.
How do you attract viewers?
That's a good question.
Listeners, viewers.
At some point.
How do you get people to go to the game? Now, because they're not there are teams like the Chicago Cubs that win or lose. You're always because
they have a loyal fan base.
Well, and Wrigley Field's the world's biggest beer garden.
Right.
That's the
White
from
Sox.
a Cubs fan. I'll go right out and say that it's a beer garden.
The Sox
where there's
probably
guys playing baseball on the middle.
draw. I don't know, 15 to 20,000 a game, maybe.
That much, you think?
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty consistent as far as that's concerned, but they never sell out. And as the season goes on, it gets less and less and less. Of course, part of the draw there is it's a good. It's really a nice ballpark. It's comfortable, and the food for ballpark food is really good.
It's just
And they get
it's not in a great
tailgaters.
location.
And they're trying to beef that up. But by the same token, the White Sox have looked at that place in the South Loop, the 79th Street thing or whatever that was called. They were looking where the soccer team built a stadium, the Fire.
Yeah.
They want to build a stadium right next to that.
But they want money like
I think they do.
they want money probably more than the
Bears.
They want the Bears. And if
Yep.
you're sitting back and you're looking, you're going, we're never going to get any money.
No.
First off, there's no money to give.
No, I don't. Yeah, where are you going to get it?
There's one thing to say we're going to do infrastructure, which is still a lot of money, but there's another thing to say. I mean, you can't keep taxing the hotels.
No, because I don't know what
Because that's usually what they do. They do a hotel tax or some goofy tax.
That's what the Bears want to draw on. And,
Yeah.
I don't know what the taxes are in some $20-$25 a night, and people are going to go, that's crazy. I'm going to stay in Chicago and have to pay an extra $30-$40.
Bucks yeah.
That's nuts. So, well, again, it's all fodder for future shows, but
all right. Well, we'll be back next Thursday.
next Thursday, that's the plan right now, partner.
Okay.
I'm dodging track meets, because I've got a track meet week from Monday, week from Tuesday, and then a week from this Saturday.
Listen, if you want to get a hold from us, leave a comment. Go to our Facebook page, which is Marengo Sports and Stuff. Or you can leave a comment on the YouTube channel, which you're listening to right now. Or you can email us, sports and stuff. That's sports, the letter N, stuff. Sports and stuff Marengo at gmail.com. Send us an email. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you want to hear.
That would be great. And I would assume it's some type, as we proceed here, and it's going to happen in the next few weeks, that eventually we could get a phone number, and people want to call in, they could call in. Yeah,
we'll work on that. It's a work in progress. This is a privately funded deal we're doing here. Maybe someday we'll see if we can get some sponsors. But so it's we're learning as we go. New computers, new logos that we're trying out and got to put on the new computer. And we're talking about adding a camera.
Yeah. So we would be
So you'd
live.
be listening live.
And you'd be able to see us.
And be able to see us.
That'd be cool.
Could be good or...
That we'd have to shave and actually dress
Well,
nice.
not really. You don't have to.
I guess not.
That too. And then when summer comes, because we do have a swimming pool outside the studio, maybe we'll figure out a way
we could
to
do a live broadcast from the pool.
a remote from the pool.
Yeah, if you figure that one out, count me in on that.
Maybe next to the pool.
Yep. It's okay.
I bet we can figure out a way to do that.
That would be pretty cool. Yep.
So,
count me in on that one.
all right. I'll let you close us out here.
Well, first of all, Tim, thank you so much for hosting this and doing this. It's greatly appreciated. I would thank Brian if he were here, but he's not. He's a little under the weather tonight.
But we hope he's back next
Hopefully
week.
he's
Thank
feeling
the
better.
Florida man for calling in.
Thank you, Florida man. That's always appreciated.
Just the score, we're 3-3.
We're all tied up.
Yeah.
Mostly thanks to you, folks. Whoever is out there listening to us tonight, if there's only one of you, that's terrific. We appreciate it, because if it wasn't for you folks, we wouldn't be able to do the things that we do. So we'll close tonight the same way we always close, and that our hopes and thoughts are that you will stay safe, stay strong, stay healthy, and always, my friends, always keep the faith. God bless. Happy Easter.
And be safe. The weather's still rumbling out there.
Good night.